What up, guys? This is Austin, or on Instagram, I'm Acro Aussie. I am a personal trainer, acrobat, cheerleader, and today is the very first time that I've ever done something like this. I've had a few friends comment on some of the equipment that I use, and honestly, this video is not a sponsorship or anything in any way possible. Honestly, I hope one day it could be. So here's what I have here. This is the general equipment that I use, and I try to keep things as inexpensive as possible. Gyms can be expensive depending on where you go, and equipment can also be expensive too. But it's also what to actually get for what you're doing. I have a few bands over here. Some are fabric and some are more rubber. I just want to go through on the differences and what I actually use them for. I absolutely love everything here, and all of it is very reasonably priced. I think the blocks were just around 20 bucks, something, somewhere around there. And the bands, I actually think I bought at Ross or Burlington Coat Factory when they're on sale. So I think maybe $5 for a pack of 3 different levels of intensity. Now, here's the thing. I am not talking negatively. I'm not talking negatively about any of these products. I literally use them all. Some are good for some things, and they're not my first choice for others. So here's the first part. The bands. I absolutely love these, especially for anything squats related. And whenever you put them around your knees, they stretch. They stretch very, very well. They work extremely well. I really like that. The only thing that I'm not too fond of is, and honestly I found a hack against this, is they tend to bunch up a little bit and become more like a little rope, something like that. And if you just wear some thicker sweat, something like that, then they're actually much more comfortable. They're not that uncomfortable so much that they are distracting, but it's a little bit noticeable. But I still use them daily, and you can see that I still use them in many of my Instagram videos for squats and I think for some shoulder work too. So these ones, they stretch really far and they last a long time, and there's several different levels. The fabric, these are really nice because they don't actually bunch up as much. They just don't stretch quite as far. So on these ones, okay, this feels about the max that these actually stretch. The other ones, I could have gone much deeper. These ones, they retain their shape well, they just don't stretch as far. I like them partly because they're much more comfortable to a degree, as in when they're a little bit more broad, wider, then they're simply just more comfortable in numerous ways. And I found that they actually stay in place a bit better. But I still use them. I still use the rubber ones. I still use the fabric ones. I still use them all, whether for me or my clients. And yes, these come in different levels of intensity. So yes, I use these all. Love them. And they're actually pretty fantastic. As you can tell, this is a pretty kind of organic video, if you will. Blocks. I use blocks for a lot of different things. Some I use for handstands, some I use for more balancing type stuff, as in if I'm doing a single leg RDL, these things where you're kind of coming down, coming back up, just to raise the floor up a little bit. These are really nice for that. They are really light, and they're really comfortable, stuff like that. And sitting on them, many people know these from yoga class, where you can sit on them and they're pretty comfortable. I don't use these for any handstand work, as in hand balancing or holding positions, things like that. I just find that the squishiness, I just don't, they're a little bit too light for my specific taste. So I don't really use them for that. But you can use them for a lot of, if you're doing any kind of sliding drill, something like that, where your bottom is on the floor and you're kind of sitting down and pulling. These are really nice for that. Again, they're really light, so they tend to move around a little bit, but that just might depend on my setup. That could also depend on the type of floor that they're actually on. So I still use these, absolutely. Remember, I'm not being paid for any of this. Hopefully at some point in time I can get sponsored, and that would be quite amazing. But this is the equipment that I already have. This is the stuff that I use, and people have commented and said that they bought the stuff that I have in my videos, and they said it worked for them, so wanted to make a video. These ones, these cork ones, I absolutely love these. They're a little bit less than 5 pounds each, maybe 2.5 pounds, something like that. They feel really good for my grip. I use them for whether I'm doing a handstands against the wall and I'm bringing my hands coming up, coming down, things like that. I use them for all my pull-throughs on the floor. The thing that we did before, come in here. I can use those, and you can start a little bit higher. They're a little bit more unstable, but then again, that's what we're always trying to work on when we do acrobatics or handstands, stuff like that. We're trying to work on our stability, our rigidity, our balance, stuff like that. So starting high, just so you can work on that compression. Then turn them down. They're a little bit more stable, but then again, it drops a little bit lower, makes you work harder. And finally, the most stable, but there's less ground clearance. So I like them for that reason. And yes, I like the texture of them, and they are a personal preference of mine. These are still fantastic. I don't knock them in any way. I just have a different preference for the use of these. Now, again, this is all equipment that I bought myself. I don't think I paid more than 20 or 25 bucks for a set of anything here. And these, I think I paid maybe $3 or $4 in the shopping line for Burlington Coat Factory, stuff like that. It didn't matter to me what brand that they were. It just mattered that they worked. So I don't really look at brand too much. I want to figure out, are they good quality? Can I use them? Do I use them a lot? Stuff like that. And after I've tested them out, then I look at the brand, and then I can buy more from that brand. That's typically how I like to do things. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to put this up on YouTube as well, and I'll add my my Instagram and TikTok. I put all of my stuff on there, from acrobatics to weightlifting, and some things are personal training stuff. And I work a lot with people's functional movement and the practicality of the movements too. Cheers. Thank you guys so much for the support and everything, and I hope this was useful.